everyone, thatoldnerfguy here. This thing finally sealed properly and it's safe to fire, so time for a review. Welcome to that. So this Worker Swift, to be honest, it doesn't really work out of the box. I really had to find the right O-ring. Maybe my lube is not optimal inside, but I got good performance. I finally have a proper seal on this blaster, because honestly during my unboxing you saw that just when I grabbed the lower receiver, the plunger just flew out and dropped on the ground. It was on a cushion. I was okay, there was no problem, no gouging, nothing on my aluminum, but both parts were basically rubbing against each other inside. So the blaster, if you just assemble it and fire, I don't think it's ready. This is more like a mother's platform, a good competitive platform that you will tune to your need. That out of the way, let's go with the review. This blaster is incredible. I have to say, the air goes on it are crazy. I mean, the silhouette. This silhouette is awesome. I was not sure about the muzzle brake at the end, but now that I'm using the 350mm barrel with the scar on it, everything is hidden and protected. I really love it like that. Kind of a bummer I didn't have my sticker, but the more I have this thing without sticker, the more I like it. All around, this huge long plunger gave us an amazing air volume to go with the different barrel length and different spring power. Okay, the 1.2 spring that comes with it seems almost too weak to push the heavy pusher. The small barrel works pretty fine, the 280mm barrel. I know I called it a 250 during the review, but it's 280. Other than that, I mostly use the 350mm barrel. This gives me 195, 200-ish FPS. I might have more with better O-ring, like I told you, I had to find one. But for the rest, this thing is just superb. I mean, the handle is a little small, but it's very well made. The stock is an amazing size, because in my hand, I don't even have to increase the size of it, and it's comfortable. I can't imagine at the maximum, is it? Yeah, it's at the maximum. I can't even imagine. This thing is like too long for me. It's gonna be for a big player, and this is as easy as it is to prime, because you see here I have the 1.4 spring inside, which is the toughest one they sent in the kit, and this thing almost prime with one finger. This is really a good blaster. The plastic is very thick, and the assembly very easy, and it's quite durable. I was really worried about the thread on the screws and on the fitting inside the plastic to wear out, but during my O-ring and seal test, I had to open and close this blaster over a dozen times, and no signs of wear whatsoever. I'm careful every time, but this is a breeze. Not to talk about the mag well. It is very easy to insert a mag because it's flared, but a little wobbly. If you use longer talon, the 18 round curve are just hell. They wobble around all the time. That's why I think I prefer the 10 round for this blaster. But maybe a little more tight around the mag well might have been better. That's it for this. It's incredible construction. Be sure for this screw to line it up properly when you assemble it, but for the rest, perfect construction, I think. Picatinny rail, fully long, almost the full length on top of it, and there is point to put a sling on it, on the stock and on top of the blaster. That gives a nice position. This is just a beauty. It's a true customizable blaster, the way you would buy a prophecy from Worker and build it to your needs specifically. This one, it's all the important part, the plunger, already there. Maybe the dart gate, I would have hoped for a metal one, but everything is there, and you choose your tuning with the different spring, which it's only one cap to open the back with the included Allen key, which hold very well, and it's not that hard to remove from the handle when you need it. You always have your tool with you. You can dismantle it, and for the barrel, it's one screw. Again, you only undo one screw, you remove it. This is a matter of seconds, meaning you can go from 125, 130 FPS with your blaster over, I've seen number with the biggest, longer barrel at 550 millimeter, which I don't have, and the 1.6 spring, just hope they will come soon. There is possibility for 300 FPS out of this thing. My setup right now with my lube and my O-ring give me about 195-ish, 200, sometimes 220 shot, 225. Still incredible for a blaster that I didn't have to choose or upgrade over time. It came, yeah, not in the box, in the package, but everything came in the package. Everything is very sturdy. You don't have that wobbliness with takeout pin because of those screw. Those screw, it's the real answer to blaster that we can separate with a lower and upper receiver. You really need to use more manufacturer really need to use this system to anchor their blaster. Even Dart Zone. The Dart Zone Mark 1 and 1.1 kind of turned me off because of the teardown pin that was on it. This is screwed on. It is solid. You feel it is sturdy. With the thickness of the plastic, the shape it got, the smoothness of the prime, this is really an incredible one. I'm gonna go and show you a chronograph test for this thing. For different combination, I did the 1.2 spring with the short barrel, the longer barrel with the 1.4 spring. I even tried the 1.4 spring with the short barrel. I'm gonna go out on the balcony and shoot outside just to show you how straight and how far it shoots. I'm not gonna do fire test inside. This will be completely irrelevant for a blaster of this class. When I show you, I'm gonna shoot at a electric pole, telephone pole, which is not far from my home, which is like 80-ish feet, 75, 80-ish feet from my balcony. You're gonna see this thing delivers. First chrono test with the Swift 280 millimeter barrel and the 1.2 millimeter spring. Let's try this out. We put a few more through it. Just want to try it with a full 10 dart. Was my fault. I had edible load on it. On the low side, okay, this spring is very, very weak. And it gives us, 106 minimum, 135.7 max. I had slightly better results with looser O-ring, but in the way I made it so it sealed, the first O-ring on my plunger is a little tight. I might have to try a different lube or a metric O-ring. This is an Imperial O-ring, 1/8 thickness I have in it. Normally it's supposed to be a 3 millimeter matrix O-ring on this thing. That means I have maybe half a millimeter too thick. That's why it's restricting my shot. But nonetheless, an average of 123.5, a maximum of 135. Still good. The minimum was the shot that bring the average down, but otherwise, yeah, it's a good blaster. That spring, I have to say, it's very, very weak. Now let's try this barrel, the 280 millimeter barrel, with the 1.4 spring. The spring is swapped. Now, 1.4 spring on the 200 millimeter barrel. Okay, so that 149 shot brought the average a little low, but the max shot was on 198. I'm kind of impressed with the 1.2 spring and the shorter barrel. And an average of 174. Those are Adventure Force Pro Dart, which are sometimes a little big and a little tight inside. They kind of have slightly longer tail than the Worker, which sometimes give weird result in that swift. Really, the best dart I tested were the bamboo dart in that thing. So now that we have numbers, let's swap the barrel again and try it. Do we try the small spring? Yeah, we're gonna try the long barrel, big spring, and I'm gonna finish with the long barrel and the 1.2 spring just for a test, just to see what it gives. Now that the barrel is swapped, let's try this thing. 1.4 spring, 350 millimeter barrel. Oh, it dropped. It dropped a bit, but I think it was the last couple darts that were pretty worn. Let me just check an issue that I had earlier. Let's see if it's not that the problem. Nope, my barrel seems to have stayed in place quite nicely, not have moved at all. Does it still seal? Yeah, I think it do. So okay, this one was 188 average with a minimal 167 shot. The last three shots, if you remove those last three shots from this chronograph test, it gave us a much closer 200 FPS average with a max 217, which is pretty decent on that spring. For last test, just to know, just for test, let's shoot a couple dart with the 1.2 spring and the 350 millimeter barrel. So now a test just for science. 350 millimeter barrel with the 1.2 spring. I'm not expecting stellar performance, but we'll see. Oof, this dart was tight. Okay, that's neat. Was pretty much the same as with the short barrel. Weird. But it was maybe a bit, there was one shot that was as low, but for the rest, maybe it was just a dart. For the rest, it's slightly higher than the short barrel with the 1.2 spring. Maybe just due to the fact that we have much more barrel length for the air volume. It's kind of neat. Really? That is a good platform. It is not working out of the box because I had trouble with the seal. I had to work with it. But overall, this is a good one. Let's fire a few shots with the scar barrel, just to see the difference in FPS. Same, I'm going to use the same spring, I'm going to use the same barrel. I want to have the measurement compared to those, so we're going to have the result right on screen. Let's shoot it. And that thing is not that less powerful and almost more regular with the scar on it. That's interesting to say the least. Just a few shots here to show you how far and straight that thing shoots. That pole over there is about 75-80-ish foot from my position, so we're gonna try with the scar barrel, 350mm barrel, 1.4 spring, to see if we can hit it. A little windy today. One hit. Two hits. Oof! A hair on the side. Another hair on the side. Oh my god, is it me? Another hit. And the last one. It's another hit. So yeah, this thing is pretty consistent, pretty efficient, shoots straight as an arrow, and I hit that thing 4 out of 6 times, and one was a hair miss. So yeah, very efficient sniper class blaster. This Worker Swift. As you saw in the chronograph test, it gives us a wide range of FPS, all available in one package. Everything is there to participate in different type of game, different FPS cap, so you can tune this war machine. Really, this is really a Nerf war machine. It's a phone tag tool. This is more than just a blaster. It's a platform. Like I said earlier, you will not fire this thing out of the box. At least I will not advise it. This is not prepared when you receive it. You will just have to make sure you have proper O-ring, because it sounds like completely dry firing, and more than that, it almost sounds like metal to metal contact, which is your plunger hitting your plunger tube, which is bad. If you gouge the plunger tube, your blaster is done. And basically this huge plunger tube, all the two parts aligned together, and it's most of the weight which is distributed here, this huge chunk of metal, the tube and the plunger inside. Removing the barrel, showing you here, as simple as taking an Allen key, removing one screw, removing your barrel, shoving the other one in, and screwing it back. It's a matter of seconds. The stock, adjustable in several positions to accommodate even really tall player. The Talon mag well, which just accept the best mag in the industry, and the quick and easy swappable spring at the back. It is easier to swap the spring out of this blaster than a Nexus screw, and that is a big statement. No, really, this Worker Swift platform, it is a true beauty. I really like it. I understand this is really an expensive one. This is a considerate buy if you consider buying this, but be prepared to experience another kind of injection molded blaster. This is on another level. I thought the Prophecy was really the last blaster you will ever need to buy if you want to have a good pump action injection molded blaster, but that is not true anymore. This is, I think, with the right upgrade, the right setup, a better option than anything you will have from Worker. As for spring power, I would say better than the Prophecy. I would say better than a Terminator, of course, because of the shell. And better than the modified Longshot, almost. Really, with the right spring and the right setup, this is on another class. It's on another level. This almost feels like you need to carry it in a gun case. Really, I could go on and on and on for hours on this blaster because I really love it. So that's gonna be it for this review. I really dig it. This is a really good blaster, but be prepared to fiddle with it. It is not ready out of the box. That's it for this video. In the meantime, you can always follow me on Facebook and Instagram at thatoldnerfguy. Please leave a like and comment, subscribe for more content. Don't forget to hit that bell to stay notified for my latest video. This was Dave Fatag. See you next time. Bye.